Welcome, everyone. OG Merpe here with you. We are getting ready to. I will be running some D&D for some of the closest friends that I have. These are the first guys that I ever played a real campaign with, including the first person to ever DM more than just a few sessions for me. We alternate, and so we're getting to the end of my part of the campaign, and we'll be switching over to his universe here pretty soon. But I'll let them handle all the recap stuff. Just really quickly, this is not a made-for-stream style D&D game. These are a bunch of friends that used to be local that are now all over the place that want to still get together and have game night every week, and so we play D&D. Nobody's really like monitoring themselves super carefully, so no offense is ever intended, and hopefully none is taken during the broadcast of our program here. Wow, what is this? 1952 broadcast of our program. Without further ado, let's get to it and do some recaps. See what's going on.
Correct.
All right,
Mhm.
all right, guys. I'm live. Who's doing it?
We'll help you, Chris.
Yeah, we'll help you, Chris.
Okay.
Oh wait,
it's
no,
me.
wait. We're doing character introductions first. But Chris, you can introduce your character first, and then we'll come back to you for the recap.
Which order?
Characters first, then recap. But we're
No,
starting.
no,
with
no.
Which person?
We're starting with Chris, and I'll tell you who's going after that. I don't know. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go reverse Discord order from Chris. So Chris, Stover, Joe, Anthony. Chris.
Alrighty. I'm Chris. I play Sigbert. He's a level 7 fighter. Middle-aged guy, 2 swords. Former mercenary or former soldier turned mercenary. Going kind of just getting jobs, going town to town getting jobs. Until he ran into this motley crew, and he's been stuck with him for a little bit. And that's Sigbert.
That's Sigbert. Stover. Let's hear about your character.
I'm Stover. I'm playing Professor Arthur Struva. He's a level 7 gunslinger. And he's from the University Castle, New Birmingham. And that's where he does a fair amount of experimental firearms and powders. And he ran with this motley crew in order to help find a family heirloom and figure out what happened to his parents. And his wife passed away from something similar. So he's trying to figure that out on the road and get away from the university so he can possibly learn more and turn in a new chapter in his life. So that's Arthur.
Love it. Joe.
I'm Reed. I'm a thick boy fighting for justice in the name of my goddess Iomade. I like hitting things real hard, especially things that are needing to die again. And then I have somehow found myself on mission work with this, group of people, and I'm happy to start calling them friends.
Aww.
That's Reed.
That's
I
Reed.
thought we were friends a long time ago.
It's for dramatic effect. That's all. On that note, Anthony.
Yeah, I play Simone. He is a Cholo summoner who is very tall, lengthy, black goggles he wears over his eyes, bald head, little mustache, with a super long, chainmail shirt, shorts that go right above his knee, and then socks that go up, past the knee. He also has his Eidolon Wilb, which is half tiger, and also with 2 heads, one of a snake, and one of the tiger, and also has wings and flies. And that's Simone and Wilb.
Love it. Tyler.
Yeah, my name's Tyler. I play Tesk. He is a elf sorcerer from the College of Arcane Arts. He's, I don't know, like average height, a little on the lighter side because he is an elf. Thank you, Cora. He has dirty. I wrote he has dirty blonde, short, wavy hair, but I never actually. I don't think I've said that ever.
I don't think you have.
No,
I don't think I have either.
I've always
but,
assumed he was bald.
Yeah, he's not bald, unlike the character model might lead you to believe. It's more of just a placeholder. He's pretty unassuming. He's not very imposing. He has a couple of neat little trinkets, but other than that, about his appearance stands out particularly much. In fact, he probably tries to hide his elfness as much as possible because there aren't a lot of elves out there in the area that he's wandering around. Yeah, he met up with this motley crew back in Irigan and has been having a great time using magic missile to, get whatever we need to get done.
I love it. I also saw some reactions to Seville. So that's that's
Yep.
that's the guest
Seville.
star out there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Saying
he's
saying
going
hello.
ham.
Saying
Okay,
hello.
got it.
Hmm
Yep.
Forgot that this is everybody.
Oh, there we go. Hey Joe, what's up?
Hello.
All right, Aaron.
Yeah, so I play the old dwarf Galfast. He spends most of his time up on his horse Desperado. He ranges the land. Looking at him, he has a dark brown, wide-brimmed hat, shades his face from the sun. Um, on his back, he has a strung wooden bow with steel dagger on his belt. He's usually spends most of his time solitary, um, alone in the wilderness. He navigates the treacherous terrain with the skills he's learned from being a seasoned cartographer. Recently, he's come upon this group after being sent south by Lord Estebar. He came with gear to restock them and has since joined them for the past few days and is looking to get some more knowledge about the area and maybe make a map.
Cool. And last but certainly not least, Soda.
So I play level 7 barbarian named Pythar. Basically just a drunkard on a rampage. Had a little bit of sober out moment. So when he was actually clean. Like beard was actually clean. Like nothing in his hair was actually combed out. He actually wore a 3-piece suit. But it immediately got tore up once he took a first drink of alcohol again, and immediately just shoveled once. Once he did that.
Was he at a wedding when that happened?
That neither gonna confirm nor deny that but the speech went well. But yeah, he's just his client was decimated by a group of orcs, and he's been all alone, so he doesn't have the really best social skills, and not good with words, as our audience will come to see.
Cool. I love it. I just want to give you guys all some props. I felt like that was a real in depth. Like everybody really. So some days I know we kind of gloss over that step. I really feel like everybody gave us real great descriptions this week. This is great. Like I'm learning more about your characters.
I tried.
It
tried.
may be the last description for some characters.
You guys have inspired me.
Everybody gets inspiration. You get inspiration. You get inspiration.
I'm allowed to give out just props, sans inspiration. I want
to feel this session we may need.
Some of you have it, and it is transferable. And you guys can always earn more by being particularly clever, or by I almost always reward it for acting suboptimally because that's what your character flaw is. Like I will pretty often give that up. Give that up. But that's totally up to you guys. So then, little recap for what happened last week. Chris, why don't you tell us what happened?
So last time on D&D Adventure Night, we were still fighting through the halls of underneath the city of Isolde. Skeletons coming up behind us. We had two big ones in front of us.
Two big ones.
Two big ones. Yeah. And so we were moving up the hall, and they were filling up behind us. And we finally, along the way, we ran into can't remember who saw him first, but this
Will.
strange little creature.
Oh, the creature.
Um,
Sorry.
um, and we eventually convinced him to follow us up the stairs after we defeated the big skeletons. And so he ran up the stairs, and as I remember, Kythar smacked him as he came up behind him. And
Yes.
he ran back down the stairs.
What?
So
Yeah, our friend.
yeah, to help fill that in, we when we were looking, well, after we defeated the giant dragon skulls, essentially, we realized that the skull pile, the graveyard we were basically in, there's no way we're going to be able to turn off all these runes in time, before another horde attacks us, essentially. So Kythar, because he was attacking the skull from the staircase, because the skull was like 10 feet off the ground, so Kythar took that as an opportunity to use the staircase as a leverage point to attack the skull. Ran up the staircase, and while we were all trying to like destroy the runes, and let us know that he could see like a little bit of light at the top. And then we all kind of determined that we needed to rush up, so we all rushed up the staircase, including the monster itself. And because Kythar never saw the monster, he just sees this weird creature running up behind him. He's gonna, of course, take an attack onto it because I feel like that was what Kythar's initial reaction would have been. And he smacked the creature who let out a very weary growl, kind of like a groan before we all got to the top, where when we were in this desiccated house, kind of, right, and we saw like from the through the windows, and then like the destroyed parts of the wall and stuff, like dead roaming the streets.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Did I miss anything?
No, I appreciate the fill in about the skeleton heads. There was one minor part that you missed about your little creature friend.
Can you talk to us?
Yeah, we befriend. I was feeding him, and then Reed and I were in the back. And as he ran, the monster guy told us that there's like a sarcophagus that we would, or an altar that we had to turn off in order to stop all the skeletons from spawning. So at that point, we realized we had to leave. Is that what you were talking about, David, or was there another?
That was also something that got missed. Yeah, and there was a pretty major thing at the end, but it's okay because we're going to pick up in that moment, so I'll catch it on my recap.
Was that the voice in our head?
One of you befriended this little guy specifically.
It was not
I
me.
did. I think
It was either Reed or Galfast.
I believe that was me befriending him. Correct.
I don't know. What'd you do to befriend him?
Didn't you pick him up?
Yeah, he was running away scared because Kythar hit him, and I said it's gonna be okay, little guy. I picked him up and like carried him out of the I picked him up and carried him out of the crumbling building because he had ran back in after Kythar bopped his toe, I think. Like he did some damage to him.
I thought you
And
cast
at first
something on him.
No, at first he like resisted, and he didn't resist, but he was very he was very scared and not liking being handled, and then at some point he just kind of like went rigid until we got out of there. Is that what you were looking for, David? I mean, you can tell me yes, no, or
That is what I was looking for. Yeah, because it's relevant because you're going to literally start this session with this like creature in your arms, and I felt like that's something that you should probably remember.
Yeah.
And we got the voice of the dragon, right? Or not the dragon, or whatever voice we heard.
Oh yeah, the voice.
There you go. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna repeat that.
Me.
Oh, what was that, Joe?
He said, "Thank you for bringing my goods to me," or something along those lines. And he's
Have it written
mistaken
down.
because they belong to us.
I have been expecting you
Yeah.
to bring me the shield that Tahaka carried.
Yeah.
then I am going to reread that city intro just to kind of like set the tone. As a reminder, you're going to be at roughly 5 o'clock. You've got some of that early evening light. There is still light in the sky, absolutely, but it is starting to disappear over the horizon. And I will. Here we are. As you all emerge from the ancient tomb, greeted by the early evening light, you're met with a truly desolate sight. The ruined city of Isolde is overrun by hordes of undead creatures, their lifeless eyes fixed straight ahead as they shamble through the streets. The air is thick with the stench of decay, and the sound of bones scraping against the ground echoes through the deserted town. Most of the buildings in the city are crumbling and decayed, with roofs caved in and walls collapsed. Many of them have been reduced to piles of rubble, evidence of the centuries of neglect and decay that have befallen this once thriving metropolis. The few intact buildings that remain stand as lonely monuments to the city's former glory, now nothing more than a shadow of its former self. At the center of the ruined city stands a massive temple, its grand facade standing sharply against the cracked and crumbling buildings surrounding it. The temple radiates a pulsing blue-violet light, which seems to create an aura of foreboding and malevolence, as if it were a beacon for the hordes of undead that roam the city. The overwhelming number of undead wandering through the streets makes it clear this is now only a place of death and decay, and you take the sight into the ruined city and its shambling inhabitants. You know that you must be cautious and tread carefully if you are to survive in this desolate and hostile landscape. You guys are in free action and are able to talk about, do, plan for, proceed in whichever way you like. I will let you guys know just off the bat that you're about 2 hours away from your lantern kicking back on again. And you guys have just emerged, in the city proper after climbing, multiple flights of stairs, this corkscrewing staircase, spiral staircase, and you've emerged with this strange creature who shields his eyes the moment that he emerges into the light, uh, and lets out a squeak of discomfort, but otherwise remains motionless. What would you guys like to do? Oh, hey, I just got a thing. Somebody's doing something. JT, thank you for the follow. Uh, what would you guys like to do? It's free action.
Hey, little guy, you're gonna be all right. We'll take care of you, I promise. And I'm gonna look at Kythar. Isn't that right, Kythar?
Oops. Sorry, little buddy.
And you feel the creature trembling in your arms, still shielding its eyes from the sun, uh, and looking down at the ground.
I'm gonna set you down now. All right. I put him down.
And you put him down, and he scampers back immediately. And as a reminder, I posted a picture of him in Discord, but he's got these like appendages growing off his face, and he's a quadruped, but he walks like a horror creature on all fours, and each of his digits on the front and back end in like 11, 13, 15 little fingers that he just kind of like scampers on top of. And so he like scampers back into the darkness of the threshold where the stairs are, but he doesn't go down the stairs. He just kind of like goes down 2 or 3 flights and just kind of peeks at you with the big eyes.
Um, can I take my cloak out of my pack? And I'm gonna like offer it to him. Say it's a little big, but we can cut it down to your size. That'll help you stay out of the sun.
Uh, do you have
He speaks
animal?
common, doesn't he?
He does speak common. He has spoken to you guys. But do you have animal handling as a check on your? Are you trained in that?
I don't think so. Let me double check. I do not have animal handling, but I have a relatively high diplomacy score.
Um, I will let you roll that diplomacy check, but you have to roll it with disadvantage. You're going to roll twice and take the lower of the two results.
Okay.
The rest
So
of you
the-
see Reed attempting to like reason with this creature who he's set down and is like scampered out of the way. You guys are looking around, and this city is full of undead. None of them seem to be in the immediate vicinity. But what are the rest of you guys doing?
the lowest was 25.
The lowest was 25. Okay, I'm going to hold that. I'm going to write that down while I'm asking your party.
Kaithar's gonna say, we wait for darkness, wait for no light.
Why?
Or what?
See outside.
What?
Go see outside. Is there a bunch of like zombies outside?
You can hear them roaming around in a block away, 3 blocks away, 5 blocks away. You're not sure. If you want to roll a perception check, you're welcome to.
Roll perception.
I'm gonna say while he's looking around, I think our best bet's fools to like try to get as high as possible, right? And get like a what's it called? And I'm gonna be snapping my fingers at Arthur. Vantage, and I'm gonna point at him. Vantage point.
Arthur's picking up what Simone's putting down. Just gives him a nice, 2-finger salute.
That's a Valmina size 10-4.
I said, I'm gonna kind of look at everyone and expecting a response.
Yeah, I think we should do it soon. As soon as we lose light, it'll be much more difficult. But I think the skeletons and zombies have dark vision, so I think
we
the
don't.
advantage is theirs if we go later.
What about lamp?
So they can see exactly where we are with this bright ass object.
I'm gonna ask. I'm like, is anyone like, used to being in like a city?
I've come. I'm. Oh, I still have mage armor. I'm from a religious city.
And the creature kind of shies away
Orthiris is the place.
at your voice again, because as you look over, you realize that he's got the cloak in his hands, and it's like you start talking, he like freezes, and then he snatches it out of your hands. Are you gonna let go of it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He like snatches it out and then like scampers back to his position, but you can see he's like holding it over his head.
I'm gonna like kneel down and like be next to him, be like, hey guy, it's all right. We ain't gonna hurt you. You ain't gotta be so snappy.
It's too bright.
Put the hood on.
He's got it over his head. But he's not like holding the hood on, he's just holding the whole piece of cloth like babushka style. He's just kinda like it's just kinda like draped.
I'm gonna look at Simone and say, "Hey, hand me your little lens things. I think you call them your lokes."
Nice.
I'm all. Someone's gonna be like, you're gonna have to pry these off my fucking head, fool.
Get his arms.
Oh, what? Now he's Darth, whatever the fuck he is.
Hey guy,
He starts influencing Sheen. Yeah, Sheen.
do you have
Anyway.
a name?
It does not remember.
Are you from Valmina? Are you from this world?
It is from somewhere else.
Do you know how to get to the temple?
And he just kind of like looks at you with a confused look.
Can we see the temple from where we're at?
Yeah, because it's up on a hilltop prominently. At any point in the city, you'd be able to see the temple because it's up on a hill in the middle.
I'm gonna point to it. Do you know how to get there?
Always. And he like points down the stairs. Never. And he points like out of the doorway.
He said, "I's never." Oh, he's never been out of there. You've never been out of there?
Why? Why? Why do you not go out?
It is small, not powerful like you.
Stick with us. You're gonna be fine.
So there are powerful things like us out there.
And it like winces.
I'll take that as a yes. Can you tell us what's out there? What have you seen?
Always with the altar in the, and he like points down the stairs. And he says, with the, he like holds his hands up, the bones and the meats.
Yeah. Well, we got it. Okay.
Not very
We got it.
tasty. Have to survive on.
I'm gonna look at Galfast and be like, "All right, fool. So I think we got as much as we are gonna get from this guy. How good are you at climbing?"
Are you asking him?
I'm asking Galfast.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm not too tall. If I can get a boost, maybe be better.
I'm gonna look at
Pathfinder,
everyone and be like, "Who fucking's good at climbing?"
We can also put that rope up there that Reed has.
Arthur
I
can
still have
volunteer
the
to
rope,
climb.
don't I? I'm gonna. No, I give it back to you.
Oh, Okay.
David, you never got that perception check for me, by the way.
You never gave me. You never gave me a roll.
22.
22. Yeah. So you, on a 22, you would be able to see the flash of something very much like what Galfast had described previously, like a lump of flesh with too many limbs, which kind of like splurches past an alleyway about 3 or 4 blocks away. And then you're able to pick out the distinct sound of like, what sounds like a mob of people moving up the street in your general direction from maybe 10 blocks away.
Okay. I'm just gonna relay that back to the team so they can understand what's near.
Oh, so you're relaying it now. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, creepy crawly, 10, house that way. The creepy crawly. Sorry, what was the first one?
You want to roll
Okay.
wisdom check to remember? I just told you, man. It was like a fleshy. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
No, not what it was. How far it was.
Oh, like 3 or 4 blocks away.
Okay.
Oh shit. I'm gonna be like, "Is it coming towards us, fool?"
No, it's going down. Going down the alleyway.
I'm gonna be like, "What's the highest point we could try to get to, fool?"
Yeah, it's me.
You're the one that looked out there, right?
The next building above it. I don't fucking know. I don't know how.
Hey, you-
What kind of question now? How high can we get? Based off them going.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, the building, quote unquote, and that's generous. What this thing is that you're standing in, it was obviously once a very large space, but there's only 2 of the 4 walls still standing. From where you emerged, but there's a portion of roof still over your head, probably 60, 70 feet. Like it's a high ceilinged building. Um, Glancing around, there are 1 or 2 intact buildings, and the closest one to where you guys are is probably 2 blocks away. Let me see here, and that'll be my first roll of the day. Not in the direction of the horde of zombies, but towards where the slurping creature disappeared behind the alley.
And so Kythar is gonna figure that out. I'm assuming. with this perception, or do we just see it?
I mean, you guys can just see that. You just look
Okay.
around, because like I said, only 2 of the 4 walls are up, so you
Yeah.
got this big wedge where you can just see into the city, and you can tell that it's a block by block structure. There's an alleyway, which is the one that Kythar had pointed down to say, oh yeah, there was a creature down there, and then you can see kind of down that alleyway on the other side a building that still has most of its roof that appears to be intact.
Okay. I'll point to that building and be all, we should get there.
Is the way to get there clear?
I'm
Right
gonna
now,
shrug my
yeah.
shoulder.
DM
Oh.
question.
Right now, yeah. You look down the alleyway, see nothing.
Hey, do we just want to try and get there as quick as we can, or we want to go through this a little cautiously?
Well,
I think we should
I
do
can-
group stealth.
I can cast invisibility on somebody if they want to scout ahead.
I was thinking you save that for the noisiest person.
Well, they're
Mhm.
still going to make the noise.
But when they stop moving,
Hey, don't we have the lantern?
I
It's
don't.
not ready yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's ready
No.
yet.
you touch it and it says cooldown 2 hours. And
Charging.
1 hour, 59 minutes, 59
Yeah.
seconds.
You see Arthur take it out of his pack and put it down and be like, "Yep, not working." Put it back.
I think we should all sneak over there and then use the rope to get up to the top, and then somebody could take a look around, and then we could go from there.
I'm gonna look down at Galfast. If you haven't noticed, some of us aren't that sneaky. Clink, clink.
I know, but they're just skeletons, so maybe
They don't have ears.
Maybe
so
they won't notice.
Maybe they might not hear us.
while Galfast is talking, you're gonna see Simone like a little idea, popped over his head.
Ding.
Oh, reaches into his satchel and pulls out all of Monzo's things, and he goes, "Galfast, hey here, fool!" And he gives him all of Monzo's stuff. And be all like, "This used to belong to someone very special to us, but it's just it can't just sit here in my fucking pack. You know what I mean? Someone's got to use it."
this is junk. It's just a stinky robe, and there's no weapon. What do I use? What do I use here? Smells like shit. There's no food.
I mean, you're the fucking ranger, right? You can figure it out. Back where I'm from, we call them fucking MacGyvers.
MacGyvers. Never heard that before.
Yeah. So since I've heard, a few blocks away, I'm gonna say, yeah, let's just get there like the fastest we can, fools.
Instead of going stealthy.
Or we can roll into stealth, or we can try and be sneaky, but let's get there as fast as we can. And I'm gonna look at little guy. Hey, little guy, you want to tag along here? And I'm gonna reach out my arm so he can either take my hand or climb up on me if he wants to. I'm assuming he's small, right?
Yeah, he's small. He's probably anywhere between 3 and 4 feet tall if he were to stand upright. But you have not seen him stand upright yet, because he's always been hunched over on all fours. And he slowly creeps out of his spot, comes over, sniffs your hand. You see his little gross undulate, as they graze against you, and then he clambers up slowly, just clambers up onto your shoulder and just kind of hangs around your neck.
Okay. I'm gonna I don't know if I can do this or how I can do this, but I'm gonna put my hand on him and I'm trying to channel Iomede's energy and just be it's all right, bud. We're gonna take care of you. And then look at everybody else.
I'm gonna look at Reed and be like, "Nah, fool, that's just another thing to get us detected. You're already a fucking walking hunk of scrap, fool. You think having this little squeaking little whatever the fuck that is on you is gonna help you? If we gotta get to the city, fool, Plus, he doesn't even like being outside. Look, he's fucking in the row. Yeah. Thank you, David.
I've got a. Here we go.
Do you think he looks
All right,
miserable?
Reed made a friend. Reed made a friend.
Does he look miserable though?
He look. I mean, it's hard to tell because he doesn't have any like human distinguishing features. His like face comes to a point. He's got these little like dangling things. You know,
Tendrils.
his eyes are huge. But he is still like slightly trembling.
Would you rather stay here?
No.
Maybe
said
he'll
no.
be useful. Maybe he'll be useful to us.
If this comes back on us, fool, my dying scream is gonna be to some that cursing that little creature's name.
Just stick with me, guy.
No words, just making noises.
And just hide when I tell you to hide, or we tell you to hide.
And he just shakily nods. Okay.
You're not really filling me with like a lot of confidence in you, fool.
Are you saying that to me or the little guy?
I'm saying that to the little guy.
And the little
Little guy say anything?
Little guy just stares back.
Is he like actively making noise this entire
Yeah,
time?
yeah. These noises I'm making are the noises he's making.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like, is he like throughout this whole conversation, like even in the downtime?
Not loudly. Like at the language about the volume level that somebody might like hum to themselves while they were working subconsciously. You know, like that's like that's the volume level that it's coming out, and it's not like it's constantly spewing gibberish or anything, but it's definitely like kind of like squeaking and humming and just kind of like as people are talking to him as he doesn't have answers prepared. But it's not like it's just constant. It's always like in response to someone immediately addressing him.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. Well, maybe what if we find the first building we can? We let him in there, and he waits for us to get out of here.
I say let's make it to the second building right now while it's clear, and then we discuss it later. And I'm going to
Let's go.
start heading towards the second building.
I'll go with him.
Okay.
I will try and roll into stealth while we go.
Um,
Well, just one person
Or
going
do I
to
have
stealth.
to move at
Nah.
half speed for that?
what's that now?
Do I have to move at half speed for that?
You would have to move at half speed if you were going to be in stealth, if you're trying to move stealthily. But you know you're not in
Which
combat,
either-
so that's not super going to matter. It just means that you're not going to move it quite so fast. I'm sorry, Aaron. Go.
I say we should either all go stealth or all go fast.
I
No.
say I'll go fast, fool.
All right,
I'll
we're
go
going
fast.
Going
All
fast.
gas, no brakes.
I want to be like an Olympic runner.
You guys make your way down the hallway, the alleyway, and emerge on the first street. You know, quickly glance to your left and right, and you can see a few errant, humanoid figures, zombies of some kind. Maybe like 7 or 8 houses down, just like kind of shambling in the opposite direction. And then you go through the hallway, the alleyway again, over to the next block, and you pop through and glance around, and this street appears to be clear. And at this point, you're a block and a half away from the house you're heading to. You head down the hallway further, the alleyway rather, and when you get to that third street, Simone, who is leading the pack here, because he's the first one that said he was going to go that way,
Yep.
glances first to his left and then to his right, and sees one of these like slurping, squelching, too many limbs, rolling mass of meat, mouths, and appendages, just kind of like, you know, slowly tumbling about a house away. And as you make your way in, it begins to squelch and roll back towards your alleyway.
So it's heading in the direction of
It's
us,
heading in the direction of you. It's a house and a half away.
but it's not aware of our presence.
No,
hard to tell, it
it's
doesn't have
going.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, quick! Maybe we can throw a rock in the other direction.
I'm So seeing this, I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna like hold up my hand because I'm in the front, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna hold up my hand for everyone to stop. Before they can be like entering into like the street
I got you.
area where
I got
I'm
you.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm who's directly behind me?
Reed.
Okay, I'm gonna cast cantrip message to Reed saying I'm gonna keep running to draw the undead away from you guys, and then I sprint across the street into the next part of the alleyway.
I'm about to say the house itself is just on the other side of the street, on your right, and there's a ruined building on your left, as well as the rest of the ruined buildings that are there. But the house you're heading to is there, and you do spot a door. It's on the street side, not on the alley side, so it would put you a little bit closer to him, but he'd still easily be 30, 40 feet away. Where would you like to go?
So Simone's on the other side of the street.
Otherwise, the alleyway continues ahead of you for a number
I
of
think
blocks.
I'd continue a little bit past into the alleyway to kind of draw that undead that way. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I'm trying to be like, since I'm the only one that was, at least what I think has been detected, I'm going to continue down there to try to draw him that way.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Wilb and I, since we are a pack.
Perfect. Reed,
Make sure that's clear.
you've just been messaged, and your entire party stands behind you, except for Wilb and Simone.
Simone.
What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna look up at little guy and go, and then I'm gonna look at everybody else. So I wanna get the theater of mind correct. So he's continuing down the alley. So the blob, if it goes after him, is eventually going to go past us and then leave the
in the street
way
that's
open.
in the street that's in front of you here, and this is
I see it like a T intersect, like a cross intersection, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and we are.
Okay, you guys are here, coming up the alleyway from the south. The creature
Okay.
is down the street a little bit. It was squelching away, and then when Simone ran into the alley, it started squelching back. He messaged you saying, I'm going to lead him down the alleyway, and then continues down the street. The house that you guys are heading towards is here on the corner. So he's running past this house, he said, and is waiting to see what happens. But in this moment, it is your turn to react. You've been given instructions via silent message. You've told this little, you've talked to little guy.
Okay, so now I got what we're doing now. So I'm gonna look at everybody else and say, hey, one of those blobs might have caught Simone. He's gonna he's gonna keep going down the alley and try and distract him. The house is just right there. A test. You want to message him? Say we'll wait for the blob to pass, and then we're gonna run the house.
I can do that, but you should be able to respond.
Say it again.
You message as a spell, Joe will let you respond.
Oh, it will.
As a test, gives you a magic lesson in this alleyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell him what you want.
Come on, we're gonna wait for him to pass, and then we're gonna run to the house.
I just imagined him talking like he's in a walkie-talkie.
But you don't hear anything. You just see his lips moving, and nothing's coming out.
Does Simone have a response?
You're just gonna see like a thumbs up, and I'm gonna continue down the alleyway.
He just puts his thumb up as he's running away.
Simone and Wilb is gonna try to look for something in the alleyway that they could hide behind that before it goes into the next block. If there's like a dumpster or like whatever
There's not a dumpster per se, but on both the right and left sides are the crumbling remains of houses with walls that stand anywhere between 2 and 4 feet tall, where it would be easy enough to just like hop behind one of these, or
gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing, there's no complete construction other than the one building for miles. Otherwise, it's all just rubble and half walls. So yeah, there's tons of stuff to hide behind.
I'll hop, hippity hop, to the right of the alleyway, over the wall, and Wilb and I will take cover and roll into stealth.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm gonna motion to everybody to like tuck against the wall and get skinny.
As soon as Reed tells me that, I have something I'd like to do.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna say,
Okay.
"Get out of my way," and I'm gonna go to the front, and I want to knock an
Out of
arrow.
my way.
I'm gonna watch him.
I love that.
I want to knock an arrow and shoot it as far as I can behind the creature.
Like in the direction it's. Oh no. Okay, there you go.
Where it was away from us,
Yeah.
that direction that I pinged, where the street is currently is.
Yeah, I got you.
And I'd like to shoot an arrow 600 feet.
Okay, give it a go. Well, I guess you don't have to roll because you're not attacking anything. So you just fire your arrow down, and the creature like stops, like rolling because it was rolling back this way, and so it stops. Your arrow flies past it on the inside here by the south row of rubble, and it begins to squelch towards the wall, stops when it hits the wall, and is just kind of like half stuck against the wall, like where the arrow had passed it. It like walked. If you were to draw an imaginary line where the path of the arrow was, he's standing in it.
I'm gonna look at Simone Galfast and go.
Okay.
Now what?
Well, how many feet away did it go? Did it follow the noise?
It didn't follow the noise. It walked. So the thing is in the middle of the street or near the middle of the street. You fire your arrow from this corner, this way. So if you were to draw an imaginary line, that's the path of your arrow. So he walked into the path of your arrow and then stopped against this half wall here. And he's probably 45 feet away.
I'm going to say, now this, and I'm going to sneak across the street.
You're gonna roll into stealth.
That's what sneaking across the street is. Meanwhile, Simone gets down the alleyway, pops around the wall, goes into stealth, listens quietly. Roll me a perception check, please, Simone.
Okay. Uh, 18.
Here's the whistling of an arrow through the air, back in the direction that you ran in, and then silence. No more squelching.
Yeah. Simone's gonna mumble to himself, "What the fuck?"
Is message still going on between me and him?
We'd have to
Not
direct
anymore.
line of sight.
Yeah, he can't see you.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the others who are behind me
Simone?
because Galfast just took off.
Simone's gonna stay into cover for right now.
Okay,
Still.
Sounds great. Just wanted to give you the opportunity to react to the bow.
Yes.
Reed has shrugged at the rest of the party. Galfast, give me your stealth roll, please.
Oh no.
14.
Okay. And you make your way across the street and make your way to the door of the house. I'm assuming you're opening it and going in or attempting.
I don't think so. I think I'm going. This is the tall house.
Yeah, this is the complete house.
Okay, I'm going to pull out the grapple hook and I'm going to shoot it to the roof from the outside.
Okay. And as it makes impact with the roof, there is a distinctive crack sound, and you can hear a couple pieces of timber tumble and fall and land inside the building. But the creature turns and begins to squelch in that direction.
Oh, it doesn't have eyes.
Is there a rock next to me?
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
something
there's like pieces of rubble and pebbles and things
Rubble.
in the alleyway. Absolutely.
Can I grab a rock and toss it kind of down the alleyway? I don't want to toss it as far as I can, but I want to make
Straight ahead of you,
I
to
mean,
the
I can't.
left or to the right, because the street is left
To
and
the
right.
So behind the creature.
Okay, so in the direction Galfast shot his arrow.
Correct. and I probably won't be shooting at 60 feet. I'm gonna, or 600 feet. I'm gonna throw it as hard as I can, which presumably won't be, that far.
He's not a quarterback or so.
Your strength score is ridiculous, and this is a regular-sized rock. This thing is gonna go for a quarter mile if you just chuck it. So how far do
Throw
you
it
want
over
to
these
throw it?
mountains.
I want to try and throw it like 100 feet.
Okay.
A football field.
100 yards is.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Now I converted that wrong in my head.
100 feet's about 2 houses, and you chuck it down, and it clatters to a halt about at the end of the second house to the west, or excuse me, to the east. And this thing stops, turns around, and begins to squelch towards the impact of the rock. It's moving very slowly across the street.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick up another rock, and I'm gonna look at everyone and go, "Okay, let's get across, and then we'll throw another one."
Do I hear this rock, by the way?
Yeah, with your 18, you'd hear the whistle of an arrow through the air. You'd mutter to yourself. There'd be about 30 seconds of silence, and you'd hear the sound of stone on stone.
Do I get a response from anybody else who's next to me?
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. I'm down to do whatever.
Okay, so I'm assuming everybody's gonna go with me when I start moving.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get across the street.
And as you guys make your way across the street, this thing stops, turns around, and begins squelching back towards the group of you now standing in front of the house. He's
How far
80
did it
feet
get all the
away.
way over there? He's
Yeah.
he's 80 feet away
He's
from
80
us,
feet away.
but he's coming in our direction, and we're successfully on the other side now.
Yep. All of you are standing in front of the house. Galfast is holding a rope which is attached to the roof. And I'm going to go back to him real quick because he's been there for a minute. Anything else you want to do with that rope, Galfast?
Yeah, I'll start climbing it, and then when I see them get to my side of the road, I'm gonna say, "You guys snuck, didn't you? You didn't get us attention."
Now I'm gonna throw the rock.
And it stops and begins squelching back down the street.
And then I'm gonna look at Galfast, something like that.
And it stops and it begins squelching back towards you guys.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, I'm gonna
You can't say anything.
grab another one and throw it.
Use your words.
And it squelches down the road. Galfast is halfway up the rope. The rest of you are standing at the base of it, in front of, between it and the door. What would the rest of you like to do?
Actually, I'll wait.
Continue into the house.
So you're just gonna open the front door?
Yeah, via which means? That's my question.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna mime to the guys. I'm gonna pick up a rock.
Your
I'm gonna
camera's
tell
on.
them. Okay, well, I don't know if everybody's looking at my damn camera.
I'm always looking at you.
Yeah, that's worrisome. Okay. Rock.
That's a dice.
Okay, use your fucking imagination in this imaginary fucking game, alright?
No, he's not. He's not even there. You're not even showing him. He's just trolling you. He's cowering in a building 2 doors down. He's not even. He's not even there.
Alright, anyways.
I'm watching. We're watching. You got our attention.
We're watching. You're watching.
Alright. Band Anthony. Go ahead and mute him. Thank you. Alright. So.
It's a rock he's holding.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, that doesn't work when you can't see my hands.
Who are you pointing to? I saw you pointing at like you were pointing at somebody.
Well,
Okay.
I'm
there you
pointing
go.
like at the rest of them, okay?
Got you.
Hopefully they got that.
Cool.
I can't see Soto, so somebody else will have to.
Can I just
Get that.
fucking mime what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, go for it. I'm just, yeah, go.
I know it would be easier for all sitting in a circle me trying to mime this, but over webcam it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, all right.
All right, me throw rock. You guys open door same time. I get thumbs up. Okay. I'm gonna count down 3 with my fingers. 3, 2, 1. I chuck the rock past the little creature. And
A task. Do you open the door?
Yeah, I'll open the door.
Okay. And
Slowly and carefully, I will open the door.
and it does creak open, but it does creak quite loudly open in the moment that the rock makes the impact. And the sound of a rock impact is very brief. You get the door open 3 or 4 inches in that time, and then as you hear the creaking ringing over the silence, you stop suddenly, and so has the creature.
I'm gonna give it another rock and throw it.
I'll time
Over the
opening the
creature.
door with when the rock hits.
Still slowly.
Still slowly.
Then congratulations, friends, you get another 4 inches. I'm assuming you guys are going to rinse and repeat this process a couple of times.
Actually, I'm gonna get some WD-40 out and I'm gonna spray the hinges.
I
4 inches and 4 inches is enough, if you ask me.
Actually, we're at a total of 8 inches now. So
Oh, that's
but on
way
that
more.
note, Simone, in the silence, you just hear the occasional impact of stone on stone. It'll be about 30, 45 seconds, of, maybe not even that, 10, 15 seconds of silence, and then thump, thump, thump.
I'm gonna imagine like someone trying to cough and fart at the same time, and that's essentially what they're doing.
I'm gonna do a perception check to see if I can find anything larger on the ground than a piece of rock that I can grab.
I mean, I'll just give that to you. There's plenty of there's rocks and timbers of about any size you could describe. About how big of a piece are you looking for?
Okay, I'm looking for a basketball-sized rock.
Okay, done.
I'm gonna overhead chuck it and use my strength check to chuck it over the creature.
At any target in particular, or just over the creature down the street?
You know what? I'm looking for a window, maybe about window or door, about maybe 10 to 15 feet to the left. No.
He's not there. He's not there.
You're
I'm
not
not
there.
there. I'm not
Where's
there.
Kythor throwing this rock? He's got a big rock in his hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Basketball-sized rock. I got both hands over it, and I'm looking about 10 feet past the creature to his left.
Okay, that's farther
Towards the
down the
door.
street then. Yeah.
Towards the door. Okay. I'm going to chuck it.
Okay. Give me a just roll a
Strength roll.
regular attack with your base attack bonus against the door to hit it.
It wouldn't be strength just because trying to reach it there, not necessarily trying to break down the door, just try to reach it
Yeah,
there.
then roll me a strength check. That's fine.
16.
Yeah, you take this rock and you toss it at this wall, which has this door attached to it, and you hit the door right at the hinges. And you watch as the door blows inward, and the archway that the door holds, stones fall out of place from it, and then the entire thing collapses, bringing the rest of the quarter wall with it, and the entire thing falls inward into where the house once was, making a substantial amount of noise, which has gotten the attention of the creeping thing. But you also hear a shrill noise coming from 8 or 9 blocks away, a chorus of shrieks, I think is how I would describe
As
it.
I hear that, I'm just shoving fucking a test through the door and grabbing Reed by the scruff of his jacket and pulling him into the house that we're trying to get into.
Cool. I just need to know if anybody's resisting or if everybody's rushing into the house. as you all
You're
witness
mute, Joe.
Kythar
Joe, you're mute.
lift up this basketball-sized stone, chuck it against a wall, and knock over the entire. It's not all 6 feet of wall or whatever, but knock over basically a whole wall of the house.
You're muted, Joe.
I do not resist.
Cool. Sounds good.
I don't resist, but probably not. Can I do it because Simone hasn't seen us yet?
No,
Correct.
but I'm going to get to him right now.
Just
Okay.
stuck
I'm just
outside.
making sure. If you guys aren't resisting, you guys are going into the house. Simone, you've heard a much
behind the
louder
house.
version of all of this.
Yeah.
Come from the direction that you just ran from, and you can hear this chorus of shrieking voices from 8 or so blocks away. What would you like to do?
I'm roughly the house behind the house that we were all trying to go into.
Yep. And as you look up at the house that you're trying to go into, you see Galfast standing on top of the roof.
I'm gonna come out of stealth and look at Galfast with surprised look and be like, "Oh,
Will I have seen anything, or was I just climbing the rope?
You were climbing the rope. You've gotten to the top of the house, and movement down the alleyway catches your eye, and you can immediately identify it as Simone and Wilb as he's like looking at you with this exasperated gesture.
Okay.
As the
doesn't the whole house like shift under him because a wall went out from it?"
No, it's the other house across
No,
the
Other
street.
house.
he
It wasn't.
threw it
I
at a
wasn't
different
going to the
house.
house that he
across
was
He threw
in.
it at a different house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He's an idiot, but he's not fucking
Completely
retard.
different. Okay, I did not hear other house. I just heard house.
Yeah, let me throw a rock at the house Galfast
okay.
is fucking standing on.
I was about to have a panic attack. Thank God. Okay.
Oh,
That's why I had that reaction. I'm glad I think your voice cut out at the perfect time for me not to hear that part. Okay. All right. Things are better. Can I have a whoopsie then at this, I guess, information? I guess
I'll do thumbs up.
yeah. Okay. And I'm
so you're now
gonna
coming out of stealth.
I'm still gonna come out of stealth. And I'm going to enter into the house from the back way.
Okay.
The backyard.
There's a back way all along.
I mean, I'm assuming we're in like a suburb, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
kind
mean,
of
so
that's
you-
kind of what I've been told. There's
Yeah.
alleyways and streets in crossroads usually means suburbs to me. So
Yeah.
I assume that there's a backyard in this place.
It's not yards; they're all right up next to each other. But you're basically crawling
Yeah.
through the crumbling remains of what would have been this house's neighbors to get
Yeah.
to the still standing face of wall. And though there's not a door per se in it, there is a crack that looks wide enough for Simone and Wilb to squeeze through.
Okay, so I'm gonna squeezing into the house. Am I immediately in the living room then, or back room, or am I near my party? Is what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, you're gonna squeeze into this room, and that's basically what the party's gonna see as they get like hustled into the door. And Kythar, I'm assuming, steps in, closes the door behind him, and they like look up and they just see like Simone like halfway sticking out of the other wall, just like coming into the building.
And be like, "What the fuck was that, fools?"
I'm gonna point at Kythar.
Yeah, I also just point at Kythar.
Need a
We had-
distraction.
Yeah, we had one of the fucking puto meatball thing coming at us.
Simone. Hey,
Oh my god! I'm getting louder. No, I'm getting louder. Yeah. Okay. And you're gonna see me get very angry for a second, and then I'm gonna calm down once logic kicks in for a second. And then I'm gonna be like,
We can
So-
be business.
so now there's like 100 of those fucking putos coming down the street.
At least we know where they're at.
Yeah, all around us.
Can we get out like a back door or something? Like, is
Fool,
there
I'm
a
still
way-
in the back door.
Well, we should go, right? I mean, we should go away
Where?
from the noise that we made. I don't know, anywhere but here, right?
Galfast is on the fucking roof.
Speaking of,
I think he come down.
meanwhile, Galfast is standing on top of the roof. He's watched Simone like sprint up against the house and like peered over the side and seen him like wriggling through a crack in the wall. Anything else you want to do while you're up there, bud?
Yeah, a couple questions. About just glancing down, about how many are down there, the
Uh,
creepy crawlies.
you aren't immediately able to see how many there are because they're behind the ruined remains of other half walls. You're only catching glimpses, through a crack here, an alleyway there as they're making their way down. But if you had to guess, well, why don't you roll me a perception check? Anything else you want to look for with that check?
With the check. Well, so here's what I want to retract my rope. I want to see how many
Yeah, magical
creepy
done.
crawlies there are. And then um, question about the roof is it a solid roof? Is there an opening? Can I see my party down below? And then the last thing I want to do is I would like to use one of my skill check for the group as a knowledge local to get to the tower. So you want me to do the perception check first
Uh,
for the
Yeah, we're gonna lump all your looking together, and I'll just give you equal answers as if you had rolled separately for all of them. And so your first, give me a perception check for how many where of the horde. That's your first priority that you described to me.
25.
If you had to guess, I mean, a dozen bodies, maybe two, but as you look at them, they're all packed really tightly together as they're making their way through. And it's not until they emerge onto the street that you guys are on, probably 7 blocks away, in the direction of the squelching creature, you're able to tell that this is like, what is it? It reminds you of like a swarm of bees if bees were rotting corpses, right? Like they're all walking and they're all shambling, but they're doing so together. Um, the
Crushing
room,
honey.
Oh no, like a hive mind. I mean, bees, right? Hive mind.
like there's a dense center core of these, and then they kind of get less loosely packed. They take up maybe like 4 or 5 foot squares, a 10-foot radius, maybe more, maybe 10, 15 feet. And there's just a bunch of bodies all walking and shambling together, but there's not a couple straggling behind and one or two walking ahead. Like they are, almost in unison, almost marching. Not quite, but they're definitely moving together. And when there's a piece of rubble in the way, they it like parts and goes around it and like reconjoins on the other side. But anyway, so
Got
there's
it.
that. The answer to your roof question is that yes, there is a hole in the roof, and it does not look like it's in good shape. You're definitely going to have to tread lightly while you're up here or risk falling through this thing. But you look down, and that fall is less than 10 feet, so it's not going to be, you know, you might twist an ankle, but this is not a dangerous height to be up on. You recoil your rope magically, put that thing back in your pocket, no problem. It's a free action. It's a magic item. And what was the last thing you wanted to do while you were up there?
I wanted to do my skill check for the event.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
the
So on
crowd.
that note, assuming that you guys are going to, from this point forward, try to make your way through the city, we're gonna do basically a more narrative version, a storytelling version of playing this game, where you guys are gonna run skill checks and describe to me how you're using the skills you have, what ideas you have. I'm going to give you an applicable skill. You're going to roll it. You're either going to pass or fail. We'll narrate some of those results. And the idea is you want to accumulate a number of successes before you accumulate 3 failures. 3 failures ends the skill game, and you just get the worst consequences that I have planned. If you make it through with no failures, you'll get the best consequences I have planned, which may or may not be no consequences. But what skill are you using for your skill check?
Yeah, so that's a question, right? So I have my highest skill is perception. So my gut. One option is I could just say I want to do a perception check to see if I, can direct everybody down the streets to the center of the temple. But I have also skilled into geography, which is used for like land and things like that, or local. but they're much lower. It's 10 less than perception.
So everybody is going to have to make one of these skill checks before you're going to get the opportunity to skill check again. I'm sure a lot of your party has stats in perception. But if you have something that you think only you have, it's usually who it behooves you to try that skill, because if you use perception, none of your party mates are going to be able to use perception until it's back to you again.
Got it. Perfect. So I'll use geography. I want to use my knowledge of what cities look like and the maps I made in the past. To try to in my head picture how I get from where maybe there's like drainage, or some sort of water system, or the way the roads are that I can get from where I am to the temple.
Cool, love it. Go for it.
16 total. I'm sorry, 18 total because of my boots and my land check. So 18 total.
Okay, great. Yeah, I was about to say, there you go. So on an 18, you recall a couple of key features. A, the map that you took out of Lord Oral Debrant's library, that was the same map that Sigbert ended up with, and you guys figured that out on the road, however long ago. The dwarven temples were like a clue as to the fact that if this wasn't a dwarven city, it was at least built in part by dwarves, and that they have their own kind of style, the way that they do districts, how closely they pack together houses, the fact that everything is made out of stone. Um, and remember that the religious districts of the dwarves sometimes had like tunnels and things in them because of the underground nature of dwarven gods. And you remember that the religious district is not far from here, and believe that might be the best place to start looking for a clear path ahead.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. On that note, you can hear your party. You hear Simone first, very heated, start to say like, "What was that? What's going on?" And then he's like muffled, and then you hear just like hushed whispers coming from the room below you.
Okay, I would like to. Can I see them below me in the hole in the roof?
Yeah.
Or is... Okay, I'm gonna like wave down at them.
So I think at that point, can we line it up to where it says, I'm gonna be like, and Galfast is on the roof, and everyone looks up and he's waving down at us.
Yes, exactly.
Tusk will wave back.
Galfast, where do we go? What do you see?
What do you see, boy?
Yeah.
I want it to be like Saving Private Ryan, the guy in the clock tower. I want to.
Oh. Yeah, the Catholic sniper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two tigers.
Did that guy die?
Yeah, no, you just see me
Yeah.
blow.
Parker,
Like,
get down!
Lifeless corpse jangling.
Jackson, no.
There goes another one.
Oh,
for
that
like
was
way
so
too
sad.
long. Like 30 seconds pass, I'm still like making hand signs. 45 seconds pass, I'm still going.
This guy's still going.
And then I'll be done with my turn on at that.
Okay, sounds great. So, I mean, you guys are still more or less in free action. Aaron has used his skill to find you guys a likely path forward. But as of the moment, you guys are still standing in the house. I'm assuming that you guys are going to want to start. You guys are going to reconvene somehow. Got fast. You're still standing on the roof. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'll shoot the rope down and slide down it.
Okay.
Climb down with the rope and retract it.
And you guys can hear the horde moving closer to you from down the street.
We gotta go.
Yeah, and start heading towards that direction that Galfast
Okay, great.
mentioned.
You guys.
Yeah.
Is that
No, go.
is that in the direction of the horde where we're going?
He No, he comes out and he leads you down the hallway or the alleyway that Simone originally ran down. If you guys had just
Okay.
continued straight this whole time, like that's the direction he's leading you.
Okay.
And then I'll pass that information. I'll start whispering, and it'll be like I'm just going on and on. But say that we used to make these temples, right? And there's religious districts, and if we
Hand on
follow
head.
usually
Got
the
it.
third.
Let's go.
No. I'm getting to the point.
Are we like running and he's still talking while we're running? It's like, so there's these priests.
I'm gonna look up at little guy and be like, "Hey, man, he talks more than you do."
Why did he throw the stone?
Oh man. But you guys make it to the religious district. Begin picking your way through a few temples, uncover a passageway between them, and make your way the equivalent of probably 10 or 12 blocks before the tunnels come to an end, and you come up at a church at the end of the religious district. Who's next? Who else has a grand idea to get you guys closer?
We're at a religious district, and there's a passageway.
There was a passageway that connected a bunch of these temples underground. And they all had like intricate carvings tied into them, and these like classical dwarven architecture of like, short dudes with beards with stuff in them, and like there's all these like divots where there were obviously once like precious gems which have been like pried out of the wall. But it's basically this like, um, you know, this connecting passageway that connects like all the different churches along the entire religious district with all these like religious iconography all up and down it, that leads underneath the equivalent of about 10 or 12 blocks towards the city center before it comes to an end. And so you guys pop up, you're 10 or 12 blocks closer to the center of the city, but you still have some ways to go. Surely someone else has an idea for how you can accomplish this.
With this religious iconography, I look at Reed and I go, if this is like the church, fool, this is like your shit, right?
Yeah, I can look around and see if I remember anything or know anything about.
Well, look at that, and I'm going to point out what David just described.
Yeah, but the way you described it, it sounds like there's several different types of. There's several different religions all in this one area.
Correct.
Would you allow me to look around and see which ones I recognize out of all of them?
I mean, you can absolutely do. You can do that, but that's like a personal thing for you. Like that's not gonna. It's not gonna help you guys get any closer to your goal, is it? Like, how is that gonna get you closer to your goal? How would you like to apply?
I want to, because there's a temple in the center, right?
Right. You guys enter through a temple, go down some stairs, get into like a tunnel that connects multiple temples. That's obviously like a communal passageway of some sort.
I want to know which because the way that it sounds like it's being described to me is that there's multiple passageways with different religious icons in front of each passageway, right?
Right.
So I want to try and connect whichever one is in the center with which one I see down here. So we can maybe hopefully take the correct passageway.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll take a roll.
27.
Oh.
You are not able to cover any more ground. The tunnels end where the tunnels end, but you're able to quickly navigate through the tunnels by being able to identify the fact that the gods are almost always grouped by their eras, and you are able to pick out a timeline between these gods to be able to go from the oldest to the newest, bringing yourself from one end of the district to the other quickly and efficiently, and leaving that mob pretty far behind you.
And I'm assuming that's my skill.
That's your skill.
I used.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's go this way.
All right, so I'm assuming we see Reed like closely look at each one of the religious monuments or whatever, and then take us down a certain passageway. All right.
Yeah, he walks down these catacombs as if
Yeah.
he has been here before.
Yeah.
I recognize this.
All right, and now Reed's leading.
Yeah, he did. He did lead you to
Yeah.
the end, but he does lead you to the end of these passages. You come up the stairs. You're in a temple at the edge of the religious district. That much
Uh-huh.
closer, but you still have some ground to cover.
Okay, so where we're at, what's in front of us then? Do we
I
need to roll a perception check
No,
for
I
that
mean
then?
it's a lot of the city has the same
So just more suburban area in
more
front of us
suburban
then?
area. This place is pretty densely packed. They are packed together in. I don't know if you guys have that map the ancient map that I gave you, but this place is basically concentric rings, around each other, and you guys have made yourself out of the outermost ring into a new ring, which is obvious from the like wide streets which separate those segments. You're like obviously in a segment closer to the core, but there are multiple segments to go until you're at the center.
From where we're seat without a perception check, just looking around, is there any undead in our view?
There are a few undead, down the street, and you guys kind of make your way from church to church and house to house.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of assuming you guys are going to kind of hop and skip around the undead as much as possible as you're making your way through.
Yeah, I don't think any of us want to bully through them. No,
Right, I think
especially
that's
with seeing their behavior. I think we're gonna model our path where we don't have to. And plus, in the beginning, we also effectively avoided that undead. We didn't kill it, right? So,
no, yeah.
uh, yeah. So the idea is that we continue using those kind of tactics, I guess, to avoid the undead as opposed to confront them,
and
unless anybody
that's
else
and
says
that's
something
where the
else.
skill challenge comes in. How are
Yeah.
you doing that? How are you avoiding the undead? How are you choosing to pick your path carefully? What skills are you using? You guys are in a place you've never been before, and all you can see is this temple looming above you, with the
Hmm.
sounds of shrieks and shrills, the sound of bones scraping against stone. As you guys are kind of picking your way through this city, how else are you guys going to do that? Galfast has used his knowledge of geography and the way that cities are built. Reed has used his knowledge of the particular district that they were in to navigate through it quickly. Uh, Anything else you guys would like to do? You guys are experts in your field. You're lifetime adventurers. This is well, I guess you're not lifetime adventurers, but you've been adventuring
He's still
together for
pretty
a
young.
month. You've got a lifetime of adventuring packed into a month of experience. Uh, Reed and Galfast are off the hook because they've already contributed to your efforts.
I'll go. I'll go. So I'm struggling because I have skills like bluff and diplomacy
Yep.
and intimidate. I'm not sure how to apply those in that situation, but I do have sense motive. So I would like to sense the motive of the creatures outside to determine what they're gonna do next.
Hungry.
Go ahead and
Flesh.
roll a sense motive check. It's high DC, but go ahead and roll your sense motive check.
That's about all I can do.
Good for you.
I'm gonna try.
Use it all, Tyler. Use it all.
It's gonna be a 13.
It's a 13.
Aaron's
And
really going to town on that spoon.
and every time you guys, a new one of these creatures comes into sight, or you hear the shrill cry of one call out, you try to anticipate the directions they're going to move. A Tesk is more of a book smarts kind of guy, and he knows that it's not just about avoiding them now and staying out of sight, but it's looking at the direction they're shambling in and making sure they don't catch up to you in a block or two. So Atesk does his best to point you guys in a direction as a new horde appears or a slurping creature. He does his best to lead you down a path that may not be the most direct one towards the middle of the city, but which will, which he believes will be best to avoid the creatures that you're passing so they don't catch up to you.
Okay.
That's what I do.
All right. So then I guess using that, we're going to continue moving forward, to avoiding the undead using Ates's instruction.
Yep.
Yeah. And we continue along. I'm assuming into the next area closer towards the tower.
You got it.
Yep. And we continue doing that, going through the rubble. If Ates tells us to stop, we stop, and continue on when he tells us to continue on. I guess destroy houses when we need distractions along the way, as well.
That sounds like a skill that someone might be able to offer.
Yes.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a skill. I would accept something like a strength roll if you guys were trying to make distractions and noises as you were going through. I know Simone's just the strongest, so.
I am not the strongest. So if
Wait,
somebody who did bicep curls could roll up a strength check, that'd be cool.
Could we use like an intelligence check, like an ability as well, or does it have to exclusively be one of our skills?
No, I mean it doesn't have to. Skills is a starting point. You don't even have to use any of that. We just need to have something to roll for when we get there. But you guys can just it's an imagination game. Like you guys are working your way through a city. Like how are you doing that safely? How are you? Because if you're just going to walk down the street in the direction you need to go until you hit your objective, that's not going to go well. So I'm assuming that you adventurers, being the inventive and resourceful people that you are, know how to do such a thing. Correct?
I think I was describing what we were doing, right?
I think you're doing a great job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now somebody needs to say what exactly they're doing and then roll.
So, someone who has some strength.
So does Simone have someone in mind? Keeping in mind that Reed has already contributed for this round.
Yeah.
Because you can always talk. You guys are. I mean, you're still.
Are you muted?
Oh fuck! I've been talking to.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
It looks like you responded.
I had to come I had to open the door for somebody, and sorry, my bad.
No, you're all good.
No, you're fine.
We were all just waiting to see why the barbarian wasn't jumping at the bit when we're mentioning strength.
I heard strength. I was like, okay, yeah, well, I could do something about that. Yeah. What do you need me to break?
Make another distraction, fool. So we need you to roll a strength check for us.
Yeah.
Ooh, not that great. 8.
You guys are making your way through, and Kythar is kind of circumventing a lot of Atesk's work. Like, he's able to make distractions for you, but then it changes the trajectory of a lot of these creatures and kind of sets them back on track. He overthrows some stuff, underthrows other stuff. Definitely making distractions and short term allowing you guys to move from block to block undisturbed. But you can hear that all of the racket has created quite a raucous swarm in your wake. Like there are obviously creatures traveling down the path behind you guys with all the noise that you're making.
Okay.
Yeah.
And be like, fuck, that didn't work out too well. So I think at this point, Simone will step up and bring Wilb up to the plate.
Yeah.
And Wilb's gonna roll us into stealth to try to continue to go down, a path where we actually divert away, inward towards the city more, but more away from the horde.
Yeah, I got you.
And so I'm gonna roll a stealth check, and to hopefully that we don't even get spotted at all, so that they stay near the distractions that Kythar just made.
Cool. Give it a roll.
Okay. All right.
Exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. Thank you. Oof.
Okay.
Well,
No, no,
you
no,
got
no.
a high
That's still.
stuff. You got a high
I have
stuff.
a high stuff. That's a 19.
That's a 19. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Simone.
Hey Joe,
Wolf-
you were muted, bud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Simone and Will.
You gotta hit that za button.
It's just funny how loud it is. It's all quiet and then it's like overwhelming. It's really funny.
And then Joe's face is all red now.
What's up? What's up, guys?
Wait, what was that noise?
Will slinks ahead, between alleys, over the walls of crumbled buildings. At one point he's like balancing on an old set of like, rope from like a streamer or banner that must have been up at some point, and
Assassin's Creed.
yeah, makes his way across, um, and he returns to you all after just a couple of minutes, and begins to lead you through the next series of the next ring, block by block.
Yeah.
He'll have you stop. He goes ahead. He scouts. He comes back. He leads you down the path he picked. You go to the next block. He parks you in a house. Goes ahead. Returns a couple minutes later. Picks you guys down
Hold
an
on.
alleyway.
While we're at that house, actually, I'd like to bring that up. If we're in a house, I'd like to, like, Sigbert, would you mind taking a look around and seeing how many undead are around us? Or, Professor, do you guys think this house is good enough for us to, try to stay the night in? I'm
Arthur
imagining
can roll a survival check to find that out.
I'm imagining that we've been traveling for a long time now, right? Or seemingly a long time.
Yeah, you guys have been picking your way through the city, and time has definitely passed.
Yes.
So,
So I
yep.
think we should try to find somewhere to rest now. Now that we've created a distraction that far away and Wilb has led us far away, and we have actually, and since the DM said we're in a house now, I'd like to take advantage of that and see if we can get a rest in, or at least a short rest at the worst
Okay,
in.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
will
want me to roll?
always give you a short rest. If you go for a long rest and don't make it, I will always give you the option of a short rest instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming that you made it at least an hour, asterisk, which is what a
Yeah,
short
yeah,
rest
yeah.
is, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So,
So, yeah.
you've asked your party members to look around, and I heard some skills and stuff being called out, but I don't remember by who.
Yeah, it's called survival.
Okay.
Did you want me to roll for that?
Yeah, I'll take a survival roll as you're looking around for enemies in particular.
To answer Anthony's question or
Yeah.
Simone's question. So that is let's see here, 18.
18. Okay. Uh, on an 18, do you go on what I can only describe as a military style scouting run as you clear the house, you exit the house, and you begin to pick your way through the rubble. You spot a couple of zombies and toss small pebbles in opposite directions to try to point them away from you, and you make your way back to the house. There's not a major swarm around you right now, but there are definitely, you see a couple of errant zombies. You see one of those squelching limb monsters. There are definitely baddies in the area, but there's not. You seem to have lost the swarm that was following in your wake. Or I mean, you can hear them out there, but they're not. You stay out there for 15, 20 minutes, and they don't sound like they're getting like closer. They're just kind of still out there.
Just like the ambient noise of the city,
Right.
kind of, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So is that enough to give the party some level of solace that, yeah, we can stay somewhere, or no, we should continue?
That's up to you to interpret, my friend. I'm telling you what you see and hear. You tell your party how Arthur perceives that based on his experiences.
Arthur is skeptical to be able to take a long rest, but from all the observations he has gathered from his role, he communicates to the party that a short rest for those who need it most could be done, but he doesn't recommend a long rest at all, especially if the hordes come by any closer.
Can we the condition of the house we're in? Are there walls that are crumbled?
Yes, but at the corners, one of the walls is missing like a big triangle out of one of the walls. That's probably, I don't know, 3 feet, on each side or so. So like a window. Your little guy could like crawl in and out of that hole pretty easily, but like Reed probably wouldn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's in more or less good shape. It's crumbling. It's old. There's cracks
Yeah.
everywhere. The timbers are splintered. The straw matting and stuff is just like rotted away in here. But it is more or less 4 walls and a roof. Yeah.
Okay. The idea behind it is that if we can, okay, so I'm gonna say this in character. Sorry. Be like, I was thinking if we can fucking barricade the doors or like figure out a way to lock them. We can more or less like as long as they're taking shifts, right? And we have the lantern because the lantern, makes us fucking invisible and shit and can't smell shit and all that other stuff. Like we can actually try to take a long rest. Do you think if we incorporate these tactics, Professor, we can maybe get away with it?
We need to make it to nightfall first, so that way the lantern will work. In the
I think.
meantime, I think
Oh,
we
sorry.
could get a short rest and barricade up. That would be my bet.
How close are we to nightfall from where we're at right now?
Uh, you guys have to leave the lantern in place for 10 minutes before you even know if it's working or not. So you can start that now if you like, but that's up to you. You guys know it only works once, and you know that you have to wait for 10 minutes before it starts.
I'm gonna look into the sky. What am I seeing for daylight?
Uh, it's dwindling. I mean, it's dwindling light. You've got maybe an hour of daylight left.
Hey, little guy, would you mind helping us keep watch too?
And he says, "There's so many."
All you got to do is, if you see them, just run down here and wake us up. One of us will already be awake anyway.
And you feel him like clutch to your arm a little tighter and be like, "We can't. What if we watch together?"
Maybe you should go with him, buddy.
We'll watch together. Promise.
And he's just kind of like nodding shakily and okay.
Just shh. Inside voice.
Okay.
Little guy's in. I say we just try and sleep through the night.
And then
Yeah.
cutting through this moment, you guys hear that high whiz, that high frequency humming in your ear, and the rumble in your feet, which meet like right in your solar plexus, and hear that deep voice once more. And it says, "I am much more powerful than my pitiful kin, Nox. You cannot possibly hope to survive. Leave the shield, abandon your quest, and flee with your miserable lives intact, or else join my army of undead and serve me eternally."
Does the army have benefits?
I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I can't. I'm gonna be like, anyone else hear that?
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Is your
is little guy like trembling in his boots right now?
Little guy does not appear to be affected.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Professor and be like, "This is what do they call it?" And I'm gonna put my hand at a test. This is like trying to recall a word, like he would know what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna look back at Professor and be
Oh
like, "This is like
yeah.
a tactic, right? It's like
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like telekinesis.
well that too, right? I mean, we kind of, if he's controlling undead hordes, I kind of assumed. Uh, but I guess you know what they say about that. Either way, this is like he's trying to
Scare tactics.
There you go. Yes, he's trying to scare us, fool. This is all just, don't listen to him. That's essentially what I'm telling to the rest of the party.
It's an intimidation technique.
Are you gonna let him intimidate you, fool?
No, I'm the intimidating one.
How does Kythar see that? Or what does Kythar say to that?
Puny man.
I think the group chuckles a little bit.
I think what we're doing though is while we're talking, we should. I'm gonna look at the professor and be like, "You should set the lantern down, fool."
We can give it a try.
And we're gonna wait the required 10 minutes. I
Yeah,
think.
that's great.
Lantern is on the ground as of now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask. You guys can just wait out the clock. I'm just gonna ask if there's anything in particular anybody wants to do during that 10 minutes.
I want to pray and try and
Okay.
talk to Aomade here, and I'm gonna send you what I'm gonna say.
Perfect. Love it.
And yes, there's something I'd like to do.
Go for it.
I'd like to cast. I'm gonna use. It's a cantrip. I have mending.
I'm gonna text you, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. To repair the doors and reinforce them as much as possible in this hour that we're kind of waiting, or this 10 minutes or whatever, however long we decide. My idea is to try to repair this house, even if it's as small as possible. Filling in cracks that we can be seen, or first thing I'd like to work on is improving the doors to increase their resistance to blunt trauma.
Yeah, that is something you can super do with mending.
Yes.
I've ruled in the past because mending reads. I forget the other part. The other thing is like, or fixes the equivalent of 4 feet of rope, or like a plank or two. So it's made to be small. But you get compounds. You can just do it forever. It's a cantrip. So
Yes.
So all that means you have to spend more time with stuff. And so
Yes.
over this time, you guys see Simone like walk over to the doors. He'll describe what the magic looks like, but it just starts doing exactly what he's describing. The doors, they're never gonna. You can't fix them past what they originally were, and originally, you don't know what they were. But as you start going through and fixing it, it's obvious this was just like somebody's house. They're nothing special doors with nothing special locks that you guys don't even have keys for anyway. But the hinges fix, the door panels, stop being splintered, weathered, and rotted, and then you start to make your way around, touching individual stones, anything that's still there, like a hole is a lot harder to fix, but everything that's crumbling, all the mortar that's falling out, you're going through and you're fixing all that stuff. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. And what they see as like I'm repairing the door is they see like bits of the door that have fallen off, like return back to it, like it zooms back to it to like its original spot of where it is. Now, not every piece returns, because it's so molded or decayed away, but it's like a bunch of, as best as it can, going back to the original spot of like the door and the latch and stuff like that, rust falling off of it and things like that. But it just looks like invisible as it's doing it,
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. And I'm going around and kind of reinforcing, not reinforcing, really just getting it back to baseline as much as possible, at least in areas that we can be easily detected.
Arthur's joining Simone in the same task, but more on the physical end since he's not a magic user. Here, lift that 2x4 up.
I love it. So it's basically the boat all over again. Arthur's going through using traditional means to fix stuff up with like his like siege building equipment, and Simone's going around just like mending stuff magically.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yep.
Tusk will help mend magically as well.
Am I done praying now?
If you were only going to pray for 10 minutes, absolutely. That happens in this 10 minutes. And the lantern does kick on and start glowing and spread out. The outside becomes muted as it did before, and it fills about the space of this house.
So I'm going to come out of the prayer and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to look at everybody and say, Iomade says it's not safe here. There was a lot of magic in this area.
Where'd she say to go?
Oh, well, now we're in the bubble, so we can talk freely. We're inside the lantern's effect, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
DM? Yeah. So now seeing we're inside the lantern's effect, I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna like slump down to the floor, as like a sigh of relief. A moment of respite.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I heard what you said, fool. But it doesn't mean it's gonna stop me from enjoying this short moment of rest, all right? So can you please shut up with your god bullshit and just allow me to take a quick 5? So- Sorry, Simone is very irritated right now.
I'm imagining Will behind him, like.
Wait, what is Will doing? I can't see you.
David did like the Z, the Z with the
head bob,
Where did
Alright.
Iomade say to go? Where'd she say to go?
She did not say to go. She just said it's
She
not
didn't
safe
mention
here.
that. She didn't mention that. Okay.
Well, here is in like where we are right now, or here is in the whole city, because those are two very different here's. Because
Did you
yeah,
get
I
some
think we know
clarification?
it's not safe to be here.
Because we will not be safe in this evil place.
Okay, so just generally, I gotcha. I think it's fine if we just rest here. Like we all know we're gonna,
I'm gonna
we had giant floating skulls attack us.
I'm gonna look up and mumble under my breath. And I just said I would die for them.
I'm going to be taking my time I'm going to draw a map of where we came from.
Yeah, sounds good. And you do your best to recollect, where you were, and you begin to like draw this map, which like snakes through the city, and it's like got rough rings drawn in over the 3 or 4 rings that you've passed so far. Absolutely.
Yeah, so everybody's
like
gonna see like out of my pack. I'm gonna pull. I have like all these like scrolls and stuff. I'm gonna spread one out, like a blank one, and I'm gonna like start sketching. And my hands look all like knotted and like they wouldn't be able to do anything precise, but the map actually looks like where you just came from.
You see like a stick figure of Kythar like throwing a boulder.
Like an early
it's like,
cave drawing.
Yeah, it's like right here. Yeah, it's like a circle around it. It's like, okay, crumpled house, Kythar through this.
I know everybody's stick figures, and then Galfast, my own portrait is like super detailed.
He's drawn abs on himself,
Desperado is still behind you somehow.
looking 20
I know
years
Simone,
younger.
I did the thing. This on Simone's stick figure, I drew like the muscle upside down. You would do as a kid.
I think Simone would try to eat and during this time, eat and drink as much, and just kind of relax for a moment.
Cool beans.
Yeah, I guess I'll eat something too while we're here.
Kythar started going to pick up some rocks on the floor and start playing with them. Tossing them in his hand. It's like,
Do they have names?
yeah, this is Bob. And this is Derek. They're married.
That's oddly specific.
Very forward thinking, though.
So
Are we going for a whole rest here, guys? I mean,
Short rest.
That's my question. Are you intending to rest for an hour, or are you intending to rest for 8 hours?
I can get some hit points.
I'm intending to rest for 8 hours.
Okay.
Tess would try and do the same.
Keyword in there, DM. Keyword intending.
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Then you guys are going to start your rest. If some other activity comes to you that you guys want to do, because in an 8 hour rest you get 2 hours of low impact activity built into that. Usually people do it on watch, but it's um, if there's anything else you guys want to do during this rest, like the mending kind of thing or blah 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 blah, let me know. But we'll take our short rest
Okay.
and go take our quick 10-minute break. It's 8:38. We'll call between 8:45 and 8:50 to be back.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
back. We're live. Our party is attempting a long rest in one of the few standing buildings left in the ruined city of Isolde. They've just been addressed by a scary voice for the second time since they've been in this city. You guys have, let's see here, found the religious district, gone through the catacombs there. A Tesk has guided you through and away from as many of the undead as he could, while Kythar undermined that a little bit, but let you guys continue moving block to block by throwing stones and destroying things. Wilb has gone ahead and done a stealth scouting run to try and pick out the best passageways to continue forth. And Arthur has, looked around to determine how safe this spot is to rest. You guys have employed the use of your lantern, which, so long as it is not moved, will continue to provide its protectionary benefits for, the next 8 hours. Did anybody else come up with anything else they want to do during this rest, or is everybody pretty much just interested in resting?
The idea is to get spell slots back from here.
Which means you got to make it
Same.
through all 8.
Yeah,
Yep.
I wanna get HP back.
Well, you can get HP back on a short rest by rolling hit dice, and as a reminder, you guys are all, level 7 now?
Mm-hmm.
So you have 7 hit dice available to you. Depending on what your class is, depends on what that die is, a d6, a d8, a d10, a d12. And if you rest
D8.
for at least an hour, you can choose up to your level, so 7 of those dice, roll them and recover that many hit points through just like a short rest. And then the next time you complete a long rest, you'll get half of your total back. So you'll get 3 of them back at your next long rest, and then 3 more the rest after that, and et cetera, until you guys level up. You guys are attempting a long rest. You're hiding under this bubble. You've just been addressed by this voice. Does anyone else have anything of note they'd like to do, or are you guys waiting and resting?
Continue working on my map, and I'll offer. I could take the first watch.
Me and little guy got second here.
Oh yeah, little guy.
I'll take third.
Oh, all right. Change of attitude. High five.
How many watches do we need again? I feel there's 4.
It's 4.
Okay, so yeah, we can double. We should double up on most watches.
Yeah.
Simone and I will go last.
Yeah, we'll go last.
I'll take third watch with Stover.
Okay, so we've got third. Let me see here. Starting at the top. Who's starting us off? Galfast.
I will go in the first watch.
Galfast. Then I've got Reed and Friend.
Little
Then
guy.
the little guy. Then it is Sigbert and Arthur. And then Simone and Tesk.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So whenever you guys are ready, Galfast can start his watch.
All right. I go to sleep, and Will, goes back to his plane.
Yeah, right.
You want me to just go ahead and do my rules now?
What watch are you on? I didn't even get you on a watch.
I'm not doing a watch.
Then no. I mean, because you won't need to roll if you make it all the way through 8 hours. So, so you're good.
Would you like me to roll?
Galfast can roll a perception check. Yeah. And is there any strategy in particular you have for your
Inspiration?
Yeah, about to say, you also get to add your modifier to that. It's not like it's automatic, but
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
you can use inspiration, sure.
As much as I want to fail on a check in this hellhole, it's not right now, especially on a solo watch. God, for the past 2 sessions, I have not rolled over 10. But so 5 still isn't a critical fail. So 5 plus my So 17 total, and I want to specifically, I want to listen. Um, I'm specifically listen. I know that I'm going to be hearing screeches and stuff, but if anything gets close, I would like to pay extra attention, and I'm also listening for the sound of wings.
Perfect.
So close scraping and close groaning, or the sound of wings, close or far.
Got it. Where are you performing your watch from?
Um, I don't think I would be inside the bubble. I would find like maybe somewhere in the second story outside of the bubble,
Okay.
like out looking out a window, maybe like sketching my map somewhere where I can see the street. Have a bit of a vantage point.
Yeah, I got that.
Outside of the bubble though, and obviously I can go into stealth if needed, but I'm not moving, so
No, I think you're fine. I'll ask for it if it becomes appropriate. So that was a 17.
17 total.
You hear that large. I'll open with you. You don't hear wings per se, but you do hear those ambient sounds of the undead of the city, including the horde, which was at one point following you, which was just kind of off into the distance. It's definitely moving, but it's not moving towards you, and you listen, and with a 17 you're able to track it from, over the course of your 2 hours, from the north end of the city, and it's obvious that it's moving south, in the same direction that you guys are headed, but not on an overlapping course, but towards the same trajectory.
And I'm sorry, you said that was wings that I heard going north to
No
south in the
wings,
same
no
trajectory.
wings. This is the horde. This
Got it.
is
Sorry.
the thing that Kythar, in part attracted before Will led you guys away from it. It's still out there. There's still a bunch of them that got all drawn together from all this noise, and you can hear that mass in particular moving, but you hear it moving from the north where you guys entered town, south towards the middle of town.
Got it.
But otherwise, nothing of note. No one. There are a couple of zombies that get within a house or two of where you guys are staying, but you watch as they shamble on past, continuing southward.
Nice.
Okay. So at the end of my 2 hours, I'll quietly walk down and wake up the next group. I think that was six. Reed, yeah, Reed and the little
Lil
creepy
guy.
fellow.
He's got a name now.
It's got
That's his name.
Little, okay, everything's clear. I'm gonna like shake your leg.
Where'd you keep watch at?
There's a on the second story. There's a window you can kind of see out of. Be sure to
Okay.
listen. Be sure to listen. Listen for wings, and there's the that horde that was following us is still out and about, but not near us.
Got that?
Talking little guy.
Talking to the little crew. Yeah.
Out there.
Love the prop. Love the prop.
Yeah. Into character.
Uh-huh.
I haven't had. You guys
Okay,
have been in the
so
wilderness. I haven't had the chance to play any NPCs for a while.
we'll go up to the second story and do exactly what the man said to do.
Cool. Go ahead and roll your own perception check for me, please.
I'm also going to use inspiration.
Are those back-to-back ones, Joe? Me and you?
That is a 27.
Oh man. On
Yeah, the first one was on that one.
on a 27, yeah. So back to back ones, Aaron. That's wild. Um, so on a 27, you're up there listening, and you are pleasantly surprised by how quiet the city is. You are thinking back. Maybe it was just the adrenaline. Maybe it's because you're up on the second story, and it's not. It just doesn't seem so loud.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, the creature like leans in your ear and he says, "There." Oh, shit. He says, "Where? Where are they going?" As you see them shambling past the house and into the inner rings of the city.
Into the inner rings, like closer to the temple.
Yeah,
So they're going in the direction that they're going away from us, but they're going in the direction of where we want to go.
correct.
Can I get a closer look at that?
You make your way across the house, and there isn't a window on this side, but there's a substantial, crack hole in the wall. And you look out, and the sounds are greater on this side of the house. There are more undead on this side than on the other side that you were looking at.
Like they're directly below us?
No, like the ambient sounds of the city. There when you entered the city,
Oh,
there were
okay, okay.
noises
And
all
that's
around you.
gotcha.
You you
So I
were
hear more noises in the south when I go to the south wall.
right.
Uh, it sounds like all the undead are going in that direction.
You go back over to the north side and you listen, and it's dead silent on this side. There is no more ambient undead sounds on the north side.
It's I'm gonna look up that little guy. It sounds like they all went to the south side of the city towards the temple, right?
Oh, yeah. Just making noises.
Okay. I'm gonna. Is it almost the end of my watch now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go wake up Kythar.
Mhm.
Kythar, who was taking watch with you?
It's actually
Who dares wake me? I didn't
And you're gonna
choose to do
and
no
you're gonna
fucking
see little guy
watch.
up here also going.
The fuck you mean I'm watching? I'm going back to bed. And he crashes it.
Thank God we're in the bubble.
Okay, I'm gonna wake up Sigbert.
well,
Sigbert, who did you have watch with?
it's me and Arthur.
And then I'm gonna go wake up Arthur. Hey, it sounds like all the undead have made their way towards the south side of the city, towards the temple. They're not no threat to us right now, but something's up. Just keep an eye out. Listen for wings. Listen for the undead, and keep an eye on the south side. Has mage armor worn off?
The 7 hours, so
Yeah.
I'm sure it has been, right?
2 hour watch, 2 hour watch, 2 hours to get where you are.
This is from the
If it
battle, so
hasn't yet, it's just about to. Yeah.
yeah.
As I'm talking, it sounds like I'm okay. I'm starting to sound like little guy just a little bit. Like my voice cracks every now and then. Um, back to normal.
Huh.
And you two are up. You're up, guys.
All right.
DM question. Does that interrupt my 8 hours?
No, no. Arthur and Sigbert both make their way up the stairs, and you guys can make your perception checks whenever you're ready.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
In sync.
Finals, gentlemen?
28.
28.
28.
Mine's at 22.
The two of you, on Reed's suggestion, devote most of your time to watching the south side, and with occasionally checking the north. But it becomes pretty apparent to the both of you, with your backgrounds, that there is very little movement, and you both have experience with what a. You guys both know what an army sounds like. at a distance, that is the sounds you are hearing ahead of you. And the pulsing of the blue violet light at the temple is growing brighter and more frequent over the course of your watch. But not a single undead soul, well, I guess I don't have souls, not a single undead
Yeah.
figure passes by your house, your block, within eyesight of you guys at all. But you can hear them, and from where you stand, it's obvious that they are absolutely between you and where you guys are going.
So many.
Oh, jeez.
But the
Wait.
night passes without incident as a result. You guys can have a private conversation between and betwixt you if you like. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'll assume you're waking up just let us know when you're waking up the party.
Yeah, Arthur's going to lean over to Sigbert and just take a look and go, we got to cross through that tomorrow?
Yeah, it sounds like I mean, maybe we can find a way around it, but it sounds like that's a big group of troops we're going to have to run into.
Man, even if I brought my own motley crew from the Navy, they wouldn't be able to blow through all that.
Well, maybe there's a way to maybe get around it. Maybe sewer system, more catacombs, you know.
I'll crawl through anything to make sure we don't go through that horrible army.
Yeah. Well, we should wake up and warn the next guys. Maybe they can
Yeah.
keep an eye out of that too.
Yeah, we'll let them know about the lights too.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go over and wake up Simone and Ates.
Cool.
So, anything happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sigbert.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of movement. It's almost like troops moving towards the center of the city, and the light of the temple's been pulsating faster and faster. But we haven't really seen anybody move nearby us. It's all, you know, without I from we can't see it.
Yeah.
Looks like the Black Parade out there.
Well, we'll keep an eye out, fool. You guys
Yeah.
relax or get some sleep, fool. We're gonna be moving soon.
Yeah, watch out for that temple light too. We saw it start flashing.
Oh, shit. All right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
And then I'm gonna summon Wilb.
Cool. Oh,
Can I do
still.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Summon Wilb. 30 seconds. And then he's here. And he sits next to us as we take watch.
Cool. And you guys can roll your perception checks whenever you like.
Nice. Hey, not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, you guys are right on par with each other.
25.
20.
Like the party before you, like the watch before you, rather, there is no movement whatsoever on your block, on your street, to the south at all. You are watching and listening, and the ambient sounds of the undead, the moaning, the groaning, the scraping, the shrieking, uh, seems to be growing louder over the course of the couple hours that you guys are there.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to grow louder when the light is pulsating at its brightest from the temple.
So it's
Wherever
like,
that light is, man.
and then you hear them a lot, and then when it dies down, it goes quiet again.
Right.
Like revving an engine, kind of.
Yeah, but you know, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Gotcha. Sick. Uh, well, I mean, I think I'm stating the obvious here that that temple is controlling these putos out here, right?
That's what I'm picking up.
Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. Uh, so I think the best thing we can do is try to get to that temple, right? I think the problem is that now that we've rested, which thank God we have, I was very irritated. Uh, we're gonna have hella more fucking undead to get through.
Well, I mean, if we'd gone straight there, maybe we would have had less, but I would have had less spells, so I feel less prepared.
I had like nothing left, fool. I was all out of energy.
I still had a
Same.
couple of spells left, but most of the big ones were gone.
I was just casting cantrips there at the end. I was trying to make it look fancy, but really I had nothing. Sometimes the illusion of being prepared is like enough, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, if they think you can, then you might.
Yeah. But then I just encourage people. I like to push a little, you know?
Hey, are we getting a little off topic here? We gotta.
Aren't you
It's not your time.
sleeping? Aren't you sleeping?
This is a
Aren't you
watch
sleeping?
conversation.
Oh,
This is a watch
Yeah.
conversation.
This is
Son.
a watch conversation.
sorry,
Your ass is sleeping right now.
Why don't you see yourself out of here?
little guy.
Yeah. What is his buddy doing while he's sleeping? The
Uh,
little guy.
the little guy
Does he
slept.
like slither away?
The little guy slept for a little while, but when you got up for your watch, if you would have glanced over in his direction, you would have seen little guy's big pale eyes staring at you as you moved across the room up the stairs. But he's just like hanging out, right next to Reed, just watching you guys.
I would I would have like fake lunged at him, be like that, you know?
Just a little guy, man.
I'm gonna laugh. What a fucking puto.
Hey, do you guys all have your cameras on?
Yes.
I cannot
Oh.
see all.
You
of
have to
for some
click on us. You have to
reason.
tap. Tap
Tipper
on
taps.
each one of our little
taps.
tap.
Tipper taps.
Nothing. I'll figure it out. Okay.
Oh,
There's
he's
Tyler.
back.
There's
He's
Tyler.
back. Okay, yeah. And then does the pulses die down towards the end of our, or are they staying the same? Does it seem to be the new norm now?
They are increasing in frequency still over the course of your watch.
Okay. He's got something cooking in there. The faster we get in there, the fucking less powered up undead we got to do with, right? Hey, but a paladin with all of his healing now. We got all of our healing now.
You got a little guy and big boy.
Yeah, I got little guy and big boy.
But yeah, I mean, why don't we just let him, run his course, and then he'll be all out of gusto when we get there.
I don't like that that little guy. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Oh, I got that. I was picking it up. You were
Yeah.
putting it down.
What do you think?
I don't know how to feel about him. He seems to like Reed, but he also seems super creepy.
You heard from downstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does
fool,
little
he's
guy
got-
have like super hearing or something?
Yeah.
You guys have no idea.
I can't tell if he's got nipples or warts, bro. It's like fucking all over his body.
I feel like he's gonna like try to do something weird, like suck on my fingers while I'm sleeping. I don't know. I just
Joe was taking a drink when you said you got him.
If he was unmuted right now, we would have got him.
Literal spit take, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, fool, sucking on fingers is right up that puto's alley. I could see it.
I mean, he can prove me wrong, but or it, she, they, I don't know, man.
It's all right, whatever it is. Uh, but I'm not getting canceled. Just kidding.
They've looked through our
Uh,
Discord history.
I don't know. Plausible
It has
deniability.
referred to itself as it for whatever it's worth.
Okay, there you go. Thanks.
Yeah, it.
If it, I just don't want it to be a liability, fool.
I mean, I think.
I
It's
mean,
gonna
okay,
die,
but think about it, right? Like, we were in a fucking tomb, right? Hella bony ass fucking skeletons everywhere, right? And then this guy is
Yeah.
just, you guys started throwing it fucking food, and now it's just along for the ride.
I don't know. I mean, we
That's
couldn't
not
even keep
like
Monzo alive.
a
How are we
little,
supposed to keep that thing alive?
bro. Put some respect on that name before you drop it. All right, you put some fucking respect on that name.
I did. I'm just, Monzo was a mountain of a man, and then you have this creepy dude. I still have a lot of faith.
I don't know where you got that fucking tomb dwelling creature and Monzo compared them, but yeah, fool. I guess you're right. That thing is small compared to Monzo.
Oh my god.
And then I'm gonna just, you know, we're just gonna continue having stupid conversations for the rest of our.
Oh my
That's
god.
why they wanted to partner up so they could just get each other off with their
Just
bullshit.
BS the whole time.
They've just got like they're the gossip squad. They just talk about everybody else when they're asleep.
Oh boy.
Magic
Oh,
Unite.
God. Oh, fucking funny.
And I was like, yeah, if they don't find us by fucking seeing us, they're gonna find us by smelling us. If you see fucking Kythar, it's still caked up.
Twice as clean as he was, though.
And that's what the party wakes up to. People start coming to first thing in the morning, and they just hear Kythar's name coming from Simone's voice, and then a test say, "Yeah, he's twice as clean as he was, though." And that's like the first thing everybody hears in the morning upon waking up.
Kaidar, being the deep sleeper, didn't hear a word of it. So what?
Not a word. He's still asleep.
And be like, hey, glad you guys are fucking awake. The tower is, it seems like the power is increasing from it, and with frequency as well. And, these fucking undead putos, every time it, the tower, blasts radiance of light, the undead, like, you can hear them calling out. And then I'm assuming at that moment we hear, because it's been happening with pretty good frequency,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If everybody
Yeah.
quiets down and listens, it's distant, but it's an obvious swelling and receiving of undead voices. Yeah.
Yeah. And be like, see? And it also seems like they've migrated fucking towards the tower more. I think our fucking dragon host is realizing what we're trying to do.
So when we were in the catacomb, there was a way we could break the inscriptions that stopped the power down when we were breaking the inscriptions. Do you think we could do the same thing for the temple? Maybe there's some other way to approach this.
I think how the the undead is reacting with the temple. I think that is the device that's controlling them. We're gonna have to destroy that temple.
The altar specifically.
Mm-hmm. If that altar from the tomb can do fucking what it was doing, inside that temple has to be something similar. Maybe on a grand scale. Maybe it is the building itself that is the altar. I don't know.
Altar make everything worse. Life was not so scary, but then the altar, all the zombies.
I'm gonna squat down and say, "Have you seen the altar?"
Altar in the tomb where I found you, where you escaped. help it escape.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Did you see who put in the altar, puto?
Oh, he's talking about the one under that we came from. He doesn't know what the hell we're talking about.
And he nods his head in response to Simone.
Oh, you're right. Who?
He was scary. He had no face, bones, floated, powerful. He with magic and had a lion with a dragon with wings with him.
There were two? A dragon and a man?
It was
And a skeleton?
It was both. It was both.
You think it's both?
Like
Uh,
one and the same, or
I'm gonna say he must be talking about fucking the orc captain that we not so ceremoniously slain earlier in the week. If you remember, we found his journal, and I'm gonna take it out, and I'm gonna refer to the page where he actually makes the journey to the ruins of Isolde, and describes them and stuff like that.
no? Yeah, I wouldn't know that because I was actually ranging.
Well, then I let you know about that history of Tahaka, and when his journeys to the city of Isolde to basically pledge his fealty to the dragon, Saltwing. And so I'm like, so that like fucking makes sense. Like if the dragon and was it an orc, puto?
Nah, not orc. He too big for orc. He
You
had
say too big or too small? What did you say?
too
Sorry.
big for orc.
Oh, too big
He
for
had
orc.
smoke off of him, dark, and he like
Oh.
shudders, you know. And
Either
his
are two.
eyes glow. Never forget eyes that glow.
There's a skeleton king and a dragon.
What the hell?
Was the dragon undead?
Shakes his head. No.
How did a dragon fit in the fucking hallways? Kythar barely fit in the hallways.
Hey, look, Estevar only has me on retainer for the dragon. Skeleton king, that's out of the picture. That's I'm working per diem for that.
You hear Arthur go, I wish I was on per diem in the Navy.
That's great. Estevar has 401k and benefits.
What about dental?
No dental.
Dental.
We had to have
Smile.
dental and vision.
Yeah, it looks like a
Like an earthquake in a graveyard.
All right.
They were smart to not give us hearing, though. All the cannons.
What?
Very funny.
So okay, so I guess there's like a fucking spirit or some sort of outsider with the fucking Saltwing. Either way, I think we're gonna have to get going soon. Everyone get your shit and let's go.
Kythar's still passed out.
I'm gonna go and kick Kythar in the rib. Not
I'm gonna-
hard. Not hard, like a wake up, like
Love
a
tap.
You know, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Be like, hey,
Do a strength check.
okay.
Reed's gonna stand up, put his stuff away, and like hold out his arm so little man or little guy can
That's
position.
a 9.
Scampers
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey,
you
wake
go.
up.
Hold on, need to go take shit.
Yeah, and clean off yesterday's too, fool.
I'm just like, I need something to wipe with, and I look at the little dude.
Reed's
I mean, it wouldn't make him uglier.
All right, go do my business. Come back. All right, ready to go.
As
Didn't watch though.
Kythar's out, and the streets are quiet, and he finds a spot in the alley to do his
To
business.
take a shit.
And he's out there. He's just squatted, and he's mid loaf when he hears that familiar ringing in his ears and rumbling in his feet, and the deep voice calls out again, and it's not just Kythar. You all hear this. I just thought this would be a comedic moment for it to happen to Kythar.
Yeah. Pinches it quick.
And the voice says, "There are powers at work here you could not begin to comprehend. What can you possibly do against the might of the college, the keepers, and my kind, the first of Valmina's inhabitants?"
Could you repeat that last part one more time?
That is
The college.
the keepers.
Yeah.
The keepers.
Uh-huh.
And my kind, the first of Valmina's inhabitants.
Okay. Interesting.
Fuck, this guy really likes to talk.
Who are the keepers? Oh, who are the keepers? I'm back to normal.
I have no idea, fool.
I'm gonna say if he keeps talking to us, he's gonna burn through all of his spell slots. So let's keep him going.
I'm gonna look at a test though and be like, why the fuck would the College of Arcane Arts be working with him, fool?
Well, they have, magical research they do on all ends of the magical realm, like not just good magic or,
That doesn't
it's
seem
necromancy.
very.
Maybe he's just a contractor. I'm not sure.
He's 1099.
You think this is all coming down, fool, to a contract?
I've seen how the college works sometimes. We don't get out that much.
Speaking of getting out, we gotta go.
Well, we're waiting for Kythar to get back.
I finished. He came back.
Okay. And be like, all right, let's. We're still in the suburbs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're in the city. Yeah, you're in the same type of terrain you've been in the whole time. The city's pretty densely packed.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna look at everybody and be like, what do you think is the best way to navigate for right now?
Are we resetting the skill counter, or
Yeah,
am I allowed to suggest something?
You can suggest something, and I will let you guys know that at this point the skill check I think is on pause, and that will be clear to you guys as to why in a minute. But you guys can just proceed the way you would normally proceed. What are you about to pitch, Galfast?
Level. After a long rest, by the way.
Was that your guys'
David?
first long rest? Oh, are you?
That is our. That's yes. I'm asking you. That's our first long rest since for a long time, right?
No.
Yeah.
Since the cave.
Since the cave, you guys fought.
Yeah.
You guys fought the two of the flying guys, and you made your way through the cave.
We also fought the two big bad guys with the dark hand and the neck. The I don't know what he was.
The one experienced skeletons.
Yeah, with the two big brutes.
Yeah. You guys are level 7 right now?
Yes.
I
think you can always think about it and get back to us.
Yeah. I'll let me think about it.
Because I think I was keeping counter of my kills, and I got into the 40s in the skeletons after all of the black tentacles and Wilb and we killed those big ass boss
It-
skeleton things.
It
Anyway,
could be like whenever you are level 10 and you go back to the level 1 zone and you kill a bunch of rats and you don't
yeah,
get a
that's true
level.
too. That's true too. Yeah. That's true
But
too.
either way, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
So we're exit the house. I'm gonna use the rope to get to the top of a roof, that I think is high, in the immediate area to get a better look.
Yeah.
And I'll be looking around at all times, specifically for wings.
Yeah. I go ahead and roll me a perception check. But what I will give you for free is that there there are no dragon wings, or wings of any kind, I guess. What's your result on that?
26.
With a 26, you can see clearly for like a 20 block radius around you. You can see well into the ring behind you and the ring ahead of you, both of which are completely unoccupied. Now that the light of day has begun to break, you look up at the temple. The ground is seething, and it takes you a minute to realize that the entire slope leading up to the temple is now filled with bodies. So the temple's in the center of town, and it's pulsating, and it's up on a hill.
Okay.
Beneath the base of the temple, down the hill to the inner ring, is wall-to-wall bodies, just full.
Like what's that? What was the zombie movie? The Book of Z? No,
Yeah, World War Z.
World War Z. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
they're not like laying on the ground. They're like making a physical wall.
No, I mean they're like standing. They're just like moving. It's like a horde. It's like
Got it.
Yeah, it's just
Like what do I see? 1,000 maybe?
There's a zombie Woodstock is going on out there.
Gotcha.
Oh, they're like having fun.
Okay.
Like it looks like a good time from here.
I know. This is zombie Jimi
misunderstood him.
Hendrix. Yeah.
Okay, so like, do I? Is it 2 meter to count, or is it like 1,000, 100?
Yeah, I mean, if you had to guess from here, you would say the number is probably in the hundreds. Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna look down to everybody and start doing like hand signals through.
That's insane.
Does anybody even understand this guy?
I'm just keep going.
I'm gonna look at the professor and be like, "Is this Navy?"
Somewhat, but DM, would I know this?
It's between you and Galfast. I don't know what Galfast is actually doing here.
I don't know. You probably wouldn't. Probably something like 12 people would know. Okay, so I slide down the rope and I say, "It seems like all night they've been congregating in the gap between us and the temple. We're gonna have to think of maybe there's another way underneath, or we're gonna have to sneak around. But even your big barbarian there won't be able to fight through. There's so many."
Be like, "Ah, fuck."
And then the other thing is also 9:36. Is this a good time to maybe call it?
Yeah, this is probably a good time to call it. You guys will be able to pick up next time around. In this situation, take a week, think about it, think about how you want to proceed, and we'll pick it up next week with you guys. Halfway into the city, out of the tombs, and with quite a bit before you.
The price we paid for the long rest. But spell slots.
Yeah. I would rather deal with more enemies and have all my spell slots back and have our paladin have all of his spell slots back. I think that
and the little guy.
Yeah, no.
He's out.
No, what do you call when in the Congress and they tack on bills onto other things?
Pork
belly.
Yeah.
Pork barrel. That's what it is. Pork barrel.
Pork barrel.
Yeah, don't pork barrel me.
I mean, he proved to be a little useful just now, didn't he?
Caboosing.
I kind of like him.
He
Just
could
wait
have.
until he's like level 20. Then he'll be fucking people up.
And he's gonna start dropping fireballs like no problem.
He's a non-combatant. Okay, he's not doing shit. He's cowering
For
in the
now.
corner.
Give him a
Yeah.
suit of armor. Give him a sword.
Oh, okay.
See?
Nah, he's
See?
gonna
Yeah.
watch. He's gonna turn
Yeah.
around and like bite
Listen, boy, if
Kythar's
you're gonna
neck
be
off
here,
or
you're
something.
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
know,
careful
right?
use of it.
As soon as he gets a sword, he's gonna cut Kythar's fucking head off. That's what's gonna happen.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, you got Soto
is
like,
anybody
come here,
gonna
you
stop
little.
Hopefully you fucking your pal now.
The
And then
two.
Soto can just change characters on the spot. So this is all an elaborate plan for him to. His new character is Gollum.
Yeah. There we go. That's who I'm playing, Dave. My Kythor
twist.
gets killed off.
Oh man.
you play little guy? Hell yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
then he becomes the main villain of the campaign.
I thought I was already at one point.
Does little guy have a character sheet?
Oh, God.
No, he just has a portrait so far.
I think that might have to happen.
I will get some loose stats put together for little guy, but they're still going to be secret. I mean, I'll give you an idea of how strong he appears and how dexterous he seems to be, but I'll add that to the list, and I will consider your achievements thus far, and we'll meet back again next week.
All right.
Cool.
All right, cool guys.
This was so much fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Guys.
I'm glad it worked out. Thank you guys for being open to a new experience, and thanks for playing.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Cool.
Bye,
See you guys
everybody.
later.
Enjoy the weekend, guys.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody.
Guys.
We will. See you guys.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks.
All right. Well, let me take a look. See if we've got enough viewers for a raid. This was a pretty successful session, all in all. I think. I've got players saying they have fun, and that means I have fun. One viewer, which I think is me. If it's JT, thanks JT for being here. Thanks for the follow. And everybody else, we will catch you guys next week. Our normal Friday night game is not going to be happening. I'm going to be out of town with most of these guys, playing a lot of Magic the Gathering probably. But I will catch you guys a week from today for our next Wednesday session. Later.